if I could make them some masks. So of course I will do that. And I've already had the pleasure of making several and sending them out to a healthcare worker. And I've got another batch going to a clinic in Dallas where my friend Sharon is a doctor, and my cousin asked for a couple. And I also sent some out to Texas Health to the NICU. So it's been just humbling, really, to send all of these out. And I love doing it. And if you would like some, and I've got time this week, I would love to make some for you. I've got some fabric on hand I've been trying to make them fun going out to the clinics. And I even made a couple for myself because since we're in shelter, we're also supposed to wear the masks when we go to a store. Now, keep in mind, these are just cotton. This is not a surgical grade. But the way I've made these, I've made them a couple different ways, actually. This is the Olson mask, and you can see it's just one piece, which makes it super simple. I find the medium fits most adults. The small is for a smaller adult or a teen. And then the small, I can even cut it down even further for children that I was going to do for my grandchildren. So I did leave an opening in these. I'm going to show you how to make them. So you can make these in your sewing room as well if you have a sewing machine. If not, use a bandana, use whatever you have on hand. This fabric right here, this one's a little thicker. It's a kind of a poplin that I just kind of liked the cheetah look on it. But it's super simple to make. I did put a little insert in here, and I'll show you that at the end, how you can adapt these. But again, I did leave this open in case you want to add a filter. HEPA filters from vacuum cleaners seem to be kind of a cool thing. That's what doctors have been saying to use. Another thing is like the HEPA filter in your AC unit. You can tear that apart and use that. I have heard of coffee filters. I'm not exactly sure if that would work. I don't know, because a friend of mine who's a nurse said that it could get wet. That's a good point. I don't know. I just know something's better than nothing. And so I want to show you how to make these. I timed myself. Took 7 minutes and 40 seconds from the time I had already cut it out. So these don't take that long, and they're super simple. Even if you don't know how to sew, I really feel like you can do this. So let's get started with, I'm going to just kind of pull you down here. All right, so I've got my pattern piece right here, and I'm just going to pull you up on Facebook. So just bear with me for just a second, and then we'll get into this. Okay. So this is, if you use an 18 by 18, that works. And that's pretty much a fat quarter. Fat quarter, I think, is 22 by 18. Or if you have, your 45-inch wide fabric, I like to cut it in half. It seems to work out better. And I'm going to cut out all 4 pieces at the same time. So this is just a Harry Potter fabric that I found. I found a lot of my fabrics at Walmart. They sell them already prepackaged. There's a yard in a package, and I find that makes 10. So that should give you an idea. So I just go ahead and put this down. And I do pin. I'm going to pin it for now. Let me get this out of the way because it is hot. I've been kind of on an assembly line lately, just making a ton. So far, I'm in the process of making over 100 masks. And again, it's better than nothing. It's not. So, okay, so half a yard, you would actually get 6 because you would have another piece up here. And remember, I cut this in half already. All right, And you can use scissors, rotary cutter, whatever you have. I like the rotary cutter. It seems to work pretty well. And we're just going to cut these out. If you use a rotary cutter, make sure you have a mat. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to make several. Just come around. Just like that. So for now, we'll just work with this one. So you'll see I've got this one all cut out. Jason, I think you're on there. What do you think this looks like? I think it looks like the state of Ohio. Jason's my cousin. I saw him. Just said hello. Okay, so we've got our fabric and we want it right sides together. That's the right side. This is the wrong side. And now we're going to sew. We're going to take them apart. So we have two. We have one on the inside, one on the outside. And we're going to stitch right down here, this angle right there. You can serge. My serger, the thread broke, so I'm just using my sewing machine. So I'm going to flip over here and I'm going to sew that part of it. Get my light out of the way. I'm so disorganized in here right now. I have been sewing so much. So you can see, and I'm using contrasting thread. I've got white. You can see I stitched down through there and here. Hey, Connie, how are you doing, girl? I miss you. And so now we're going to iron this open, and then, so you can kind of see how you can make them. Oh, good. Are you making some, Connie? And then we're going to fold down the ends once, and then again. And then I'm going to iron that, and then I'm going to stitch that down. So sorry for the back and forth. It's the best I can do at the moment. All right, so I'm going to get my iron. I think it's hot. Yep. And I don't open them it flat, and I just iron it to one side. Just like that. And I do that to both sides. And I'm ironing on the right side of the fabric. And then again on all four ends, I'm going to take it in 1/8 of an inch and then about another 1/8 of an inch. You do not have to measure this, just eyeball it. It's totally fine. And then again on this side, you can add interfacing if you'd like. Make sure that you can breathe through it. Some of them you can't breathe through, so you might want to just insert your own filter. And again, this is not hospital grade by any means. It's just better than nothing. When I first started making them, I sewed the sides closed. And I kept watching videos about adding filters and this and that. And so then I decided to leave it open to give you the option of putting something in there. All right, let's see who's commenting. Nadine, Penny, for healthcare workers, it would be helpful if they were different fabric on inside and outside. Oh, good thing. Oh, I didn't know that. Which was the outside. That way they don't risk putting the contaminated side next to their face. That's excellent. I did not think of that, Nadine. Thank you. Let's see. I know other ladies are doing this. I'm not selling them. I'm not selling them. That's crazy. As long as I have supplies, I'll send them to you. I have time to make them. But I wanted to do this video so you could make them, you know, if you wanted to, and you can see my stack over here. I do kind of, okay, so Nadine, that's a good point. I think that maybe I'll put something on that side of it. Maybe I could stitch something that just will let them know what's the right side and what's the wrong side. I'll remember that for the next batch. Maybe just get a solid color for the inside. Thank you for that. Okay, so now I'm going to stitch down. Oh, you're welcome, Carol. I'm going to stitch down on this side because I don't want any frayed edges in case these get washed a lot. Okay, so you see I just stitched that down, and I used I have a presser foot that is for quilting. I don't quilt, but it makes great 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch seams. So now, sorry, I'm going to put the points together. Oh, thanks, Nadine. Yeah, I love it when people, you know, I'm not in the medical industry. I know how to sew. So if you have ideas, please, please, please let me know. Hey, Penny Piles. Nobody's called you that in a while. So Penny Piles and I went to school together in Northridge in Ohio. We were the two Pennies in our class. I was Penny with an I and she was Penny with a Y. Okay, so now I'm going to stitch from this top point all the way down, and then I flip it and I stitch, and I do like 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, and then from here down to here, and then I'm going to stitch from here. This is the bottom of the mask. So I will do that. And I do that, I go from point down and point down so the point stays nice and crisp. Be sure to backspace on this part. So there's the top part. Now I'm going to do the bottom, leaving the sides open. So you can see now I clip all of my little threads. You should see my floor. No, you really shouldn't. I need to vacuum it. It's got lots of these little threads, and then I wear them all throughout the house, it seems like. And I apologize for my messy room. I usually don't sew messy. I've been sewing up a storm. Melanie's been helping me, and it just gets away from me. I do like to serge them. It's just faster. Okay, so here we go. Aw, thank you, Penny. You're sweet. Oh, good, Carol. I figured you've been sewing some. Yeah, Connie, I've heard that too about a coffee filter. You know, it's probably better than nothing. So I was watching a video this morning, and they said if you put this over and you breathe, and if you can still feel your breath, I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's not perfect. And then if it fogs up your glasses, it's not perfect. Nadine's my nurse friend. We called her Nurse Nadine through all of those Camp Sunshine days. You're still Nurse Nadine to me. Okay, so see, I've turned it inside out. See, I'm keeping this open. I'm not going to close that in. And now I'm going to iron this. I'm going to switch you back over. And honestly, we're almost done. I am going to find something and put it on the inside to make sure people know that's the inside. I did buy some, these are too big, but you know, I like to do garment sewing, and a lot of people like to put labels in the back. Well, a lot of them say this is the back. So I had some made that says not the front. So I thought that was, I have not put it, let me see if I can put it in the comments. I'll add it. I can put it on my phone. The pattern is super easy. I actually found it from, you're going to laugh, from Project Runway, because I love Project Runway. And Brittany Allen, one of the, let's see, let me go up and I'm going to get you the pattern. It's small, medium, and large. Copy. Super simple. It's not wanting to carry over to my phone for some reason. Carol, I'll put it in there when I get a chance. It's not wanting to do that. It's really simple though. So hang on. When I'm done, I'll put that in the link. So you can see it has a little bit of a shape to it versus the pleated masks. I made these because they were easier. And you know, it takes 7-8 minutes to make one. Now we're ready to put the elastic on. I have noticed when I made mine, I cut my elastic 5.5 inches, and I need 2 pieces. It did not fit my husband. I made him a baseball one. I have some baseball fabric somewhere. Oh, I have some baseball fabric. And it didn't fit him, so I had to go 7 inches. So Mom, if you're watching Making Uncle Dave's, I cut some strips 7 inches for him, and then I think for Aunt Jan the 5.5 inches will be fine. But it just wasn't long enough. See, this is 5, this is 5.5, and it works fine for me. This one, I added a little dart. I'm not putting anything in there. I added a little dart in there so it kind of fits over my chin. You can see there's no gaping. And then I have a metal piece in here. I'll show you how to do that you can add last. So either way, whether you leave an opening here to put your filter in, or you put, I was trying it on and I just was kind of pinching it like, ooh, I could, you know, fit that even more. If you want to do with the darts, let's see, I made a pattern with a dart. Here it is. There's one. I would interface it first. I think that might be a good idea. I don't know, just keep trying different things. Let's see. Okay, so here we are. We've got our mask. We're ready to put the, where are they? Here we go. Use this kind of elastic if you can find it. I had to buy, I'm using all I have right now. I had to buy some off of eBay. Even Amazon didn't have it for delivery for this week. So I found some on eBay. I bought 200 yards and it's supposed to come this week. So right now I'm just using the last of my scraps. So I'm going to pop that in there and I'm just going to go back and forth 4 or 5 times. And then without twisting it, then insert it in the bottom part and then go back and forth, leaving this open. And we're going to do that on both sides. And then, hey, Trish, I haven't talked to you in a while. Hope you're doing well on the other side of Denver. Then it's done. It's all done once I put these two in there. So let's do that. And then I'll show you some ideas, talk to you about some ideas that I found online today. All right, so now it's done. Without, all I have to do is cut off the little pieces here and go on the floor. It's fine. So many things on the floor at the moment, it won't matter. Just vacuum it later. And I did the contrast so you would see it. If I did this in black, there's no way. Sometimes I can't see it without my magnifying glass. Yes, I use a magnifying glass sometimes. Okay. My daughter Melanie was really super excited about this one. So she made a couple for her roommates. So there we go. So see, here's where I had that idea. And you can see, since my glasses are fogging up, that means there's breath coming out of there. So we can put something in here, and I'll show you. It's probably in your kitchen. And then you can also, if you don't want to put an extra filter, you can dart this on the inside. So you've got some options here. This is the basic. Oh, thanks, Trish. If you guys want to make these, I just wanted to show you how simple it is. So again, it's open, so you can put a filter in it. Hoover vacuum bag filters are supposed to be really good. If you have any other ideas, let me know. You just don't want your breath to come through, from what I heard. And again, elastic is becoming a hot commodity. And if you can't find it, I couldn't find it at my Walmart yesterday at all. And you can use ribbon. It needs to be 18 inches long, 18 inches here, 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 and here. So you'll have 2 yards. That's an option. So I did buy a lot of ribbon just in case. But so far, the healthcare workers that I've asked, do you want the ties or the elastic? They've all said the elastic. So Nadine, what do you think? I've been making the pleated ones and these look easier. Yeah, Mom made the pleated ones. I guess it's easier to put in the elastic. I can't get in any supplies to even, no bandanas. What about bed sheets, Jan? Do you have any old bed sheets or maybe some old shirts? I know elastic's hard to find. You can also use shoestrings from old shoes, I've heard. If you have any sewing supplies, I know not everybody sews, so that makes it kind of hard. Bias tape, ribbon. Does anybody have any other ideas? Those are the ones that I've thought of. Elastic. Now, if you have elastic that's too wide, like this one, I don't know if you can see. Let's see. You can see that type of elastic. It's a poly elastic. It's not the knitted kind. It's not the sport. You can cut down the center and make it smaller. So this one's 3/8 of an inch, I think. And I did cut this one down in half. Old t-shirts are stretchy. Yeah, that's true. Do we want them stretchy? Oh, cut strips. Oh, good idea, Carol. Yeah, okay. Yeah, at this point, everything's out in the stores. Everyone's gone crazy. Even Amazon, I couldn't find it there without it being delivered next month. Well, hopefully this is over next month. I'm really hoping. You can cut, if you have strips of fabric, just go in your closet. I'm sure there's clothes in there that you're not using. Oh, see, okay, Nadine, she prefers the ties. It fits better. I'm sure you could put, you can adjust it much easier back here. Don't use satin ribbon. Yeah, grosgrain ribbon is the best. It has some grip to it. It won't stay tied. Yeah, probably not. Bias tape works great too. If you have bias tape, you might just stitch down. You can make your own bias tape, and it doesn't have to be bias because we're not curving this around an edge or a neckline. It's just straight lines, so it doesn't have to be on the bias. And what I mean by on the bias is 45-degree angle. So another idea for the nose has been pipe cleaners. I don't have any pipe cleaners. Twisty ties. I really don't have very many of those either. What I do have is, what do I do with it? Is one of these. So what I've done on both of mine is I've cut, here we go, about an inch. Don't use your fabric scissors. Use your craft scissors. An inch. About what, 3 inches, 3-4 inches? It's not rocket science, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Now I know this, ooh, florist wire, good idea. I don't have any of that either though. So I've been using this, and it can cut you, so you need to be careful. So I fold it in on the ends. I can get this up high enough, you can see it. I'm gonna fold it on both ends. And it's not perfect, but it works. And then I fold it in half, like that. And then in half again. So it kind of overlaps like that. And then I insert it. If you need a good sturdy needle for this, and you might have to hand crank it to get it going, but I insert this and stitch it through the aluminum. Just about 1/2 inch on each side. As you can maybe see here. You can kind of tell I started here and then I ended here. That way it allows you to have some shape when you put it on. You can kind of mold it to your nose. So see, now my glasses are not fogging up. I only feel a little bit out here of my breath, not a whole lot. But again, it's better than nothing because we don't know about this stupid virus. You know, it's all still speculation, I think. They don't know if it's airborne. I don't know. I don't want to be fearful of it, but I want to be cautious and not make anyone else sick. I'm not sick, thankfully. No one in our household is. My parents are doing well, and all my kids are doing well. I have a client, though, who lives in Georgia who may have it. And I could just, when I talked to him on the phone, he had this real dry, hacky cough. So that's not good. So let's see. Oh, hey, Melissa. I read where nurses were also asking for stretchy t-shirt fabric, 1-inch headband. I did too. Nadine, if you're on here, do you think that would hold? I wasn't sure that that headband would actually hold the tension up. Maybe it would. But yeah, you know, if you're wearing these all day long, I could see that where your ears are getting raw. Maybe that, you know, it might be a good idea to have some with the elastic, some with the ties, so you can kind of give yourself a break. Hey, Allison, another Ohio friend who used to live where I lived. That was crazy, crazy, crazy. So try that. You know, have some like this. You can put the ribbon in. I've got some cute ribbon. So I had to get purple for TCU. Yes, it's what they need to save their ears. Okay. Wow. So here's some grosgrain ribbon. You'll see it's got some grip to it. So when it's tied, it'll stay tied. And I think on the end of it, you know, you'll stitch one end inside, but if you'll kind of just double that and stitch it, it'll give you something to hold on to. Some are putting buttons on their caps. Yeah, yeah. Buttons are going to be another hot commodity for all of this. Absolutely. Does anybody have any other ideas? Because this is what I've been working on. I've got, let me show you. I found some fun fabrics going to this clinic in Dallas. So I have footballs. I have Disney princess. I have Mexican food. These are all designated going to Dallas. We have Harry Potter. 12, oh gosh, Nadine, yeah. 12 hours behind a mask with your elastic hurts. Man, you need to pray for all these people out there that are on the front lines. Oh, you're welcome, Melissa. It's my pleasure. It was just something that was in my heart that I just really, really wanted to do. I have tons of fabric, and at the time I had plenty of elastic. Hey, Mindy, we were chatting this morning. Mindy's my wonderful cousin. I love her so much. We were chatting this morning. I made her a couple. Allison, I don't know if you know this, but Mindy's my first cousin. Some people that we grew up with don't know that. But, oh, I've got some Minnie Mouse. Those are fun. And when I was driving back and forth to Texas, I stopped at this Walmart. Yeah, I know you didn't, but we're first cousins. I found this bandana fabric. My mother and her dad are brother and sister. So our grandma Cook is the same grandma from New Moorfield. And only Ohio people know about New Moorfield. And Star Wars. I have Star Wars fabric. Along with the baseball. I mean, I have all kinds. And I have floral. So I have this client Steve works 10 to 12 hours at Target, and they aren't allowed to wear ties around the neck. Had to switch to elastic. Interesting. Wow. Wow. Around the head, maybe? Or back here? I guess, yeah, okay. So they have to wear the elastic. Interesting. I haven't been to Target in a few days since we've been all mandated to wear the mask, so I haven't noticed that. No, you are still there in New Moorfield. Wow, that's cool. I love Facebook and how it pulls us all back together, even when we were like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. So that's what I had for you today. I just wanted to share how to make them if you'd like to make them. And oh, how's Cindy? We really don't know. Wish we knew, but we don't. So anyway, I'll post the link to this pattern. And again, I saw it on Project Runway. Brittany Allen was one of my favorite contestants this last semester, or last season, not semester, season. And she started making them like crazy, except she wasn't, she was just serging them, and which was too much fraying. So that's when I decided I wasn't going to do it that way. Oh, that's fallen down. So anyway, it was wonderful hanging out with you guys today. And you're going to see this, I mean, my sewing room, it's usually pretty neat. It's really not right now. So I have to just take some time and clean it up and keep going. I'm excited to get the pattern. Yeah, I'll post it as soon as I'm off here because I've got the link already ready. And it's super easy. There's 3 sizes. There's small, medium, and large. And I have found the medium fits me. I'm just kind of a normal size person. Yeah. And the small, my granddaughter's 9, and the small was too big. So I definitely would, really, the width seems to be okay. It's bring it up maybe here up to here for the smaller kiddos. And then they wouldn't need as much elastic, just kind of fit that to them. That's what I have for you. So thanks for joining me, and post some. I'd like to see what you're making and what other ideas you have. And if you have any other ideas, let me know. I love to hear and adapt this simple little pattern that looks like Ohio, don't you think? Mindy, don't you think that looks like Ohio? Like we're from here. There's Cleveland, Cincinnati. I told my husband that. He thought it was crazy. He didn't see it, but that was the first thing I saw. Oh, God bless you, Allison. All right, guys, have a good day, and I'll check in with you later. Love you. Bye.